大家好，我是 Peter，欢迎来到我的频道。今天听了没？跟着 Peter 一起赚。我们今天跟大家介绍一下，那这个市场上最有名的投资人啊，Elon Musk，还有这个 Chamath，那这一些投资人他们在聊呢，就在未来的几个月甚至1-2年之内，市场整个所谓的 recession 现在目前为止似乎还没有得到大家的这个认定啊，很多的信号出来，似乎我们有几乎步入一个萧条期，但是有些人认为我们还没有步入萧条期。那大家来听听看，这些大投资人甚至世界上最有钱人他们怎么看？那大家认为这个萧条期如果萧条的话，我们要如何面对？那我觉得是有2点吧。第一点应该是想办法让自己的现金流变是正的。那第二个当然是去杠杆。就尽量不要有这个所谓杠杆的负债啊。那我们来看看他们怎么讲。
One of the things we just talked about was the regime change that's happened where, we all have to act differently now that the risk-free rate is probably going to get to 5%. And I'm just curious, across all your businesses, so Twitter, yes, but really more importantly, Tesla, SpaceX, are there decisions that you will make differently or not at all, or will make that you wouldn't have made otherwise in this new regime? And how often do you think about that kind of stuff?
Well, I think it's more like it does seem like we're headed into a recession here in 2023. The magnitude of that recession is debatable, but I think it's at least a light to moderate recession. Potentially, it's on the order of 2009. So I think it's wise to kind of like prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Don't get too adventurous. Like watch out for margin debt. Like I would really advise people to not have margin debt in a volatile stock market. From a cash standpoint, keep powder dry. You can get some pretty extreme things happening in a down market. Like Brett Johnson, who was a CFO, who is a CFO of SpaceX, was at Broadcom in 2000, and he said that, and that's a good company making good products. And he said from peak to trough, I think in less than 12 months, Broadcom went down 97%. So like even if you had a small margin loan there, you got crushed. It subsequently recovered, and I think to much higher levels. But if there's like mass panic in the stock market, then you got to really be careful about margin debt. But I mean, this is just as we know, the economy is cyclic. So and we're somewhat overdue for a recession. And my best guess is that we have sort of stormy times for a year to a year and a half, and then things start to dawn breaks roughly in Q2 24. If I were to get, that's like my best guess. Recessions don't like booms don't last forever, but neither do recessions.
I actually want to double down on David's answer, Sachs's answer, because I agree with that. I have been guiding our portfolio company CEOs to be at cash flow break even now or extend runway to Q1 2025. And there are
25.
Yes, because I think Elon and I are kind of roughly in the same place. We have been for a while, which is like, mid 24 is when the recession ends, and you need to give yourself 2 to 3 quarters of buffer so that you can go and raise around, which takes 1/4 to 2 quarters. And once you start to get escape velocity out of a recession, having money through end of Q1 2025, I think is a minimum requirement. And of the companies that I think were the most precariously positioned, there was 5 of them that got their acts together and really did it. But these are all CEOs of companies that, if you said them, you would know some of them. But I do agree with David. I think the CEO that bit the bullet. So maybe publicly what I would say is, the CEO of Klarna deserves a huge, medal for having the courage to do it before anybody else did. The CEO of Checkout.com just took a huge write down. These CEOs are making sure their companies survive.
那这边呢，学妹她讲到说，那 CEO 去让一家公司的时候，那其实是跟个人甚至一个家庭是一样逻辑啊，就是我必须第一个要有现金流，那我要这个正的现金流，代表你整个现金流进来之后呢，那你必须扣掉所有的费用跟支出，你必须还是正的，这当然是第一个。第二个当然是你的杠杆的部分，那你必须去杠杆，甚至说我必须要有一笔 reserve， 这笔 reserve 是什么样一个状况？我有办法 撑到2025年啊，他们所谓的 runway 就是你本身如果有一笔钱，这个地方你没有额外的收入，那你有这样的支出的话，你可以撑多久？那就是所谓的 runway。那这个 runway 其实在我们现在这个状况看起来是非常非常重要啊。
I mean, I'll put myself in the category along with anybody else who was long tech. Basically, if Nick, if you can just please back up this capital asset pricing model. Any of us that didn't understand this got run over this year. And just to put some very specific numbers here, there was a decent little tweet thread that Elon was a part of where they actually calculated what the expected rate of return of Tesla was, and it turned out to be almost 14% a year. And so, you know, when you start to compound 14% over 3, 4, 5 years, these numbers get very big very quickly. And the reason why is that it has a huge beta, and we're in a world now where the risk-free rate is quite high. So all of us benefited from this equation essentially being upside down for the last 15 years. And all of us who were over-allocated into things that benefited from those dynamics, frankly, got run over this year. So we were, as a class, the worst investors of 2022.
According to Investopedia, the expected return is a tool used to determine whether an investment has a positive or negative average net outcome. The sum is calculated as the expected value, or EV, of an investment, given its potential returns in different scenarios, as shown by the formula Chamath Palihapitiya is referring to. This formula indicates that the volatility of a particular investment in relation to other assets or investments would determine the expected return on that investment. The baseline is a risk-free investment, but this is theoretical. So, for the formula to work, it has to be based on the performance of your investment only relative to other investments. Tech companies have not done so well in 2022, and they may remain a risk in 2023 if we indeed slide into a recession.
那我们刚刚跟大家聊到了这个整个的内容之后，我们就知道，在面对2023年这一波到2024年，甚至有机会到2025年啊，那在里面他们也聊到有两个东西，我觉得第一个是现金流，第二个就是如果你本身把自己个人或者是家庭或者是公司，你有所谓的一个 runway 就是你的一个储备的资金呢、储备资金你必须要有办法撑到2025年啊，你要撑到2025年，甚至第一季、第二季才有机会在2025年，有可能这个整个金融体系跟经济反转的时候，它才有办法再做一波熊市啊。感谢今天所有加入的朋友，谢谢大家，晚安，再见，拜拜。